welcome to Kachai with Lucky. We are back. I do have the sex therapist Brian Semanda, and we're really going back to the conversations where we promised, we gotta bring a part two because we were pressed for time. The issue of hygiene when it comes to a man, a woman, it plays a really big part in a relationship. People don't really notice, but it does. So we're gonna look at body hygiene generally for a man and a woman.
You see, when we get to hygiene, you see, I take hygiene as health.
Right.
There's a very thin line between the two. And most people don't understand that you can actually be a very handsome person or beautiful person to look at, but very disgusting to get close to. And while you're trying to look for ways to make your partner happy, the beginning place must be your body, your comfort, your health, both from oral, body, and everything else.
Right.
Because most men actually have taken this whole thing to be feminine. Women take care of themselves, but you see, all you have to understand is you are dealing with a person as well, and your hygiene as a man affects your sexuality as well. I've seen people complain, my man doesn't wash his boxers, guy doesn't shave, you have to fight about his shaving. But remember, you're dealing with somebody else. So while you're having sex with your long hair down there, this girl, when she's really wet and sensitive, you're causing damage to her. And just understand that how you are not comfortable with something, somebody else is not going to be. So if you want to be a sex genius or superstar, somebody admirable, how you look, how you smell is very important.
I don't know why men think that they don't have to keep their hygiene as well as women. There's I think a few weeks ago, somebody actually wrote to me and I shared the letter on the socials. This man used to bathe in the morning. Then he would go to work. But he had an issue with bathing in the evening. This woman was saying, I have been with my husband for 3 years. I have done everything that I can. He says he doesn't bathe in the evening. And he's like, but I bathe in the morning. What's your problem?
You know?
Her problem, though, was even if he has gone out there and worked and comes back all sweaty, salty, that guy wants to sleep with you.
Exactly.
And but people, how do you expect someone's daughter to sleep with you when you know the Casanova of Kampala? You have sweaty, walked and you're sweaty like that. So how do you get a man like that to just get to a place where they even think about you?
But again, logical wise would think you'd rather at least shower at night in the morning.
Exactly.
I saw that message. But the thing is, what is important right now is let somebody understand that. Why I tell women, issue ultimatums.
Right.
Well, sometimes if you're dealing with these adults, all men sometimes showering becomes a problem. Not because you're dirty, but there are days you'll be like, I don't want to shower.
I don't need to.
But then just find a place. For example, if she didn't shower, how would you feel? Because everything to do with sexuality and relationship, I always mirror myself. If I'm smelling this way, if she smelled the same way, would I be in the same place?
Yes.
So this is. Selfishness must be dealt with here. I tell women, issue ultimatums. No sex if you don't shower. But the thing is, if you say no sex if you don't shower, you're protecting yourself from the infections of the day. You've been urinating everywhere. You have some leakage stuff in there. And if you go to do number 2 sometimes, you're in town, crazy. You didn't wash. Like the Muslim, I love Muslims for that, man. You didn't wash. And then you come back sweaty, smelly. You smell, meanwhile.
But if you're a man and you don't really like to shower, because there are quite a number of them who don't like to shower, how about you just do what they used to call in school? I've forgotten the name.
Kavazimbi.
Where you actually clean your armpits, clean that area.
But let me tell you, it's funny. How do you get water under your armpits and you can't put it on your body?
But that's how they
that lady in that text says sometimes we wash his head.
Also, as women, obviously, we have to keep our hygiene.
Exactly.
Our system is built differently. There's when you're in your menstrual cycles. Now, people, when they're in their menstruation periods, most women think that it's just about me. Since I'm not going to sleep with a man anyway, so why do I have to? And yet, it's just not enough to wash up and wear a pad. There are some extras that you must do as a woman to make sure that, because during the menstrual periods, that's when you get all kinds of infections. We all bleed differently. There's people who really bleed a lot. So the kind of sanitary towels you use are very, very important. What kind of pads are you using?
Exactly.
Are they really protecting you? Because some of these pads are on the market, and the only thing they do is maybe to stop the blood from flowing, going on your clothes, and that's it.
Nothing else.
But then you'll find others on the market, they've really worked on them. When you get them, you don't get
bumps all over.
When a woman, yes, when you get into your periods, sometimes you get blisters. And it comes from the kind of pad that you are using and how long you're using it.
And there are dupes also.
But women, when you buy yourself a sanitary pad, it's written on 4 hours, 6 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours. And also, even if the time, the duration is put there, you gotta look into yourself. Okay,
from
so
morning
maybe they put 6 hours, but for somebody who's not overflowing.
Exactly.
For you, you are flowing like a river,
and
but then you want to wear it for 12 hours.
You go to work in the morning and come back with the same.
With the same, and then change it twice.
Smell it.
So that way, you will carry infections because that blood stays there in your system for very well. You get bumps and what. So changing your pads frequently is very important, especially during the day. You're up or you're down, then you gotta know there are types. There are the types of pads that you can wear at night, and that's they'll put there overnight or because of the fluids control.
Exactly.
It's very hard for you to wake up at night sometimes. I
can relate, though you're a woman there.
So how you buy, and if you're buying for your wife as well,
you must know what to buy.
You gotta keep that in mind. For me, menstrual periods is when you feel like things are going south. Even the way that blood smells. Once you're changing your pad, there's people who just change, gets tissue, just cleans, and then puts another pad. What happened to water?
So you see,
wash that area properly.
It's normal. You feel uncomfortable because I've seen people like you. Every time she's in the bathroom, you're like, "What's that? Like, this is my time." But the thing is, what you need to understand is, whatever you're doing, you're doing for your health. One, two, for another person. Because you see, I told you, your hygiene affects your health a lot. People come and say, "Brian, infection to infection every month."
Right.
And you go back. Okay, when was the last time you changed your knickers? I've had these knickers for 3 years. How do you wear a knicker for 3 years? You are a woman. Knickers are easy to buy, 5K. But I'm telling you, women come and say, you know what, I suffer infection every day, every other time. What do I do? Okay, take me through your routine on a regular. How often do you change your knickers? There are places people don't wash. What type you're wearing, and the kind of water you're using to. Some people just shower. The remaining water is what they use to
with the soaps. And you know how they can affect that area.
You know what? They go with the basic. You know, not everyone has running water.
Yes.
They shower, and the remaining water is what they use for Missy to wash. So remember, all the dirt that has been going off you is in there. So you're going to suffer infection. When it comes back to our sex, then we are going to be affected because you see how you smell. I told women, there was a group of women I was talking to.
It's got to be women and men.
Yeah, I was talking to a group of women one time and I said, you see, if I have sex with you, how you smell is how I'm going to smell for part of the day. If I didn't shower that immediately. So the thing is, if you want to be in a place where you're comfortable with your sexuality, don't be sure that the other person is going to talk about you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I told this girl, she comes and said, Brian, you know what? This man doesn't want to go down on me. She had come for a waxing. I remember I told you that story. Girl removed her thing and like,
then it was
my sister. If you are that way, how do you expect somebody to come down on you? Be honest with yourself.
I'll take you back a little bit. You talked about a type of underwear really matters. For most women, the type of underwear you should be looking for is cotton underwear.
Yes, sir.
Nice cotton underwear, they're not that pricey. That is very good because it absorbs whatever, sweat and whatnot that are going on in your system, and it dries easily, so that way you won't carry moisture in that area. That moisture normally causes what they call yeast infections and all other yeast infections.
And how long to keep it?
If you want to wear that kind of sateen and those ones you do for one night, not during the day, because then you have a lot of movement. You wear for your guy, nice lingerie, but that's just for a show.
Just for
how you look.
A show.
Afterwards, cotton underwear is normally it. I'll tell you a story. A lady wrote to me a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, Lucky, I get to have sex with this guy. He's my partner, but every time we're done with having sex, this guy doesn't want to wash up. Guess what he does? He gets his manhood and rubs on a bed sheets. That's cleaning himself.
It's done.
And then sleeps.
Okay.
Can you imagine that? Using the sheets to clean his dick.
So that means the guy is that lazy. But this is what I tell, if he's your partner, this is what you're going to be creative. I tell people, you see, our old guys used to tell girls, carry his clothes in your bed just to clean each other because you don't want to go to the shower immediately. You could have your little wet wipes. Very medicated ones, very good ones. Clean up yourself if you can't go to the bathroom. Because some people say, my bathroom is outside. I am in, so we have done things, so I can't move outside.
But
you see,
really?
we all don't have inside the bathrooms in Uganda.
Really?
So this is what you need to do. Get little towels, those little clothes.
Even if you got tissue dry,
real tissue.
and just clean that part.
But dry tissue is also a different story.
No, you just pat like this. Because what I'm thinking, he's trying to remove the remaining of
whatever, yeah.
Really? On the sheets that you're going to lie on?
It will dry. This is what people never understand. As we're talking about hygiene, there are places people forget to wash and clean up.
Right.
You see, as we talk about shaving, most people think about shaving when it's probably they're going to go out there. But people don't understand. As you stay home, you're not going anywhere. Even when you wear a shirt that is tight on you, if you didn't shave, you will sweat a lot more.
Right.
And I was doing a facial one time, and this lady came and she was just seated there. And I just put her like, hey, okay. And I realized even under our ears, it was all messed up.
Yeah.
Like, madam, okay, wait a minute. Do you realize you have a lot of that behind you? Okay, Brian, I don't know. For us, we have hair. You just wash your face because you don't wash your hair.
Oh, please.
And I'm like, hey.
Don't you because when you're going to take a shower, if you have long hair, you see now how my hair is, I don't really even need to wear a cap. You're going to know how to keep your hair and to keep yourself clean. All I do is roll it up here and put a string or whatever, and it will stand still. That way, I have access to the neck. I have access to behind my ears. Whenever I'm going to take a shower, I do that.
So you see that those places are always forgotten. And I say people, you're an adult. In your neck, there is that because you see, at all there's this bachelors group. They call themselves the bachelors crib. They were men. They call me. What places do women look at mostly if you're talking to them? And my brother, a woman is going to look at your fingers. It's going to look at your lips. If you have cracked lips, it's a turn off for most women. So brother, you have cracked lips. You have plaque under your teeth. Go see a dentist.
The eyes as well.
You see,
most of clean their eyes.
Most of the times, if you don't do your nails, this woman is going to look at yourself. Okay, you have that in your nails. You're going to be touching someone's daughter over a time. Your mouth, your lips are cracked. Your beard are not shaven. Just be neat, because neatness is an attraction to most women. Because while you're talking about being attractive, being nice, hygiene is not just a smell; it's how it looks.
And then because I know there are some guys who are roughish. They are rough but clean. So do not confuse, the rough look, the rugged look, because it's sexy in a way, for being unclean. You'll find a guy with his dreadlocks, but they are clean. Even if they are styled in a way, you can actually tell. You look at his nails; they are
very clean.
But his beard looks as if, but it's washed.
Clean,
It looks, it looks very healthy. The lips, look healthy, and that's where you're like. So it depends on who and what style, and it shouldn't be, if it's rough, that doesn't mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's not clean enough.
Because hygiene to most women, I've seen women, you see, women have, they always receive the bad side. But even some men come and say, you know what, Brian? The other woman, I don't know what's wrong with her. She can just shower now. She enters bed and she smells like she has been working the whole day. And we should...
Because she's not taken time to clean herself.
We need to find out which kind of deodorant we are supposed to be using, or antiperspirant we're supposed to be using, because certain bodies sweat a lot more.
Right.
So if you sweat a lot more, understand, okay, you can't go to the bed when you're smelling perfume and cologne, all that, but find out there's some... odorless
lemon. You can do other tricks. The other issue that we can look at when it actually comes to hygiene is that time when people are going to sleep and what you're wearing. Because hygiene is also the outlook. Some people just come to bed and there's nothing that is attractive.
Sexy. Your husband's t-shirt with a knicker on her head.
I love my husband's t-shirt.
We're talking about this married group and say, you know what, you're talking about how to bring back groove for our sex life, but then this woman comes back with a baby's knicker on her head.
A bonnet.
She's wearing
a bonnet. Yes.
Yeah, instead of a real bonnet, she's wearing a baby's neck, like little panty, and then she's just wearing this t-shirt. The fallen heroes are all running around. Where is the attraction?
It becomes very hard for
so the thing is, hygiene is not basically a few things. Places women forget to wash under your boobs. That's
a big, because you sweat a lot. You sweat a lot. And for us who have had babies, they're not so it's very hard for you. Gotta do a bit of action, pull up a little bit, and get yes.
Key thing.
And then clean up under there. Otherwise, you'll have. Also, I'm one person who tells people that what you eat will come out.
So much more.
What you're not eating will also affect whatever comes out of you. If you're a woman or a man who doesn't take enough fluid, who doesn't take enough water, trust me, that will come out in your sweat. And sometimes you ask yourself, how come I bathe and do everything, but I never really, smell fresh? It is because you're not eating enough vitamins, you're not taking enough water. So you're washing and washing and washing, but your inside really,
You see, there's this. I used to do matchmaking many years ago. Guys would be like, "Give me a girl you don't." And I'll call the girls like, "Hey, so this girl, I hook them up to meet with this guy."
Right.
She enters the car, and in a few minutes, the car is parked. When they were leaving, Mike was like, "Okay, what up?" I was like, "Brian, I need to talk to you." The moment that gentleman spoke like this, I felt like I'm in a toilet. I can't imagine. Just in the car. Just imagine if you're making love or kissing each other. So there are so many simple things that you do. I told brother, some of these things are just brain. If you're gonna meet somebody, get some chewing gum in you, so that sometimes we don't have a bad mouth odor because we didn't brush. Because of a day's affair, you eat beans. You ate beans a few minutes ago. You can't spend the whole day without breathing your mouth.
Oh, before we conclude, there's the other part that we forgot, the nose. People forget the nose and they're like, oh, the only time he cleans the nose is when I have the floozy. But then sometimes, even if when you don't have the flu, you're going to have those little particles, even the ears.
Then you're picking
and then you're picking to remove those. Please do that at home or excuse yourself. There is nothing as disgusting as a person trying to clean their noses in front of you in public. It is super disgusting. Well, thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
That's all we had for you on Kachai with Lucky today. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kachai with Lucky. God bless you. Kwaheri.